Hello everyone, it's me, Orpheon, your infant dragon sorcerer here, and also on the previous video I uploaded, it's to let all of my subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is all of you, to all vote on a poll that I put on that video, and particularly, it's to decide if Asta should have his own 4-leaf clover grimoire with Bond's powers, and attacks and spell and abilities in it, or he should have Bond's immortality and regeneration and abilities with the 5-leaf clover grimoire and his anti-magic sword. And I'm still waiting for you guys to vote some more on the other polls on my other videos, because I want to make sure you all get a say in what happens, so you can all be more involved in my channel and to have situations in each and every what if series the way you think is going to be plausible and make more sense. So alright, this is going to be a part 2 of what if Asta had dark and light powers. So where we last left off, Asta just became an official member of the Black Bulls, and things go relatively similar as in the anime. Magna gives Asta a grand tour of the Black Bulls hideout, and he tells Asta about the chores he has to do, and all that. Nothing changes up until when Asta and Magna encounter Noelle. She is still not very fond of Asta because she's royalty, and that's how the aura she gives off, and she's just thinks she's better than everyone else. And she still throws her Black Bull's robe, and Asta is still surprised that Noelle would actually do something like that. And he picks up Noelle's Black Bull's robe and follows her. And then he sees Noelle while she's trying to attack with her magic at a target that's on a tree. And she keeps missing, and she remembers all those times that everyone of the Silva family and her siblings made fun of her, bullied her, and called her a mistake, a failure that shouldn't even exist because she can't control her magic. And she then just constantly gets upset and throws her magic at that tree with the target on it. And Asta's still watching and trying to figure out what's going on. And Nero still lands on Asta's head, making the leaves rustle and making Noelle notice that Asta's there. She's very upset and shocked about this, and her magic begins to go out of control right then and there. She was doubting herself, and her magic literally was just going out of control all over the place. It was destroying the entire forest. And this huge orb ball of water was just so powerful to the point where it actually destroyed half of the entire forest just from a single swipe. And Asta is trying to figure out what's going on, and he accidentally gets hit by one of Noelle's attacks, and of course he gets thrown at Captain Yami as he does in the anime. The other Black Bulls are worried about Noelle, and they can sense all of Noelle's very powerful magic, and they want to save her. But they don't know how to get that done. Then Asta shows up, and Captain Yami grabs him, and he asks Asta to use his anti-magic sword to go up there and help save Noelle. And Asta's like, "You do know I can't fly, right, Captain Yami?" And he smiles, and then his eyes begin to glimmer, and he says, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to teach you! Get up there!" And he throws him so hard that Asta starts screaming. He's like, "Oh, snap!" And he's just screaming while all the way up there, and he actually pulls out his anti-magic sword out of his grimoire, and he saves Noelle. Oh, but before they fall on the ground, Finral actually uses his spatial magic to slow down their descent, and Asta basically lands flat on the ground, and Noelle's unconscious body just fell on top of him. He was like, ouch! That hurts! And then Noelle regains consciousness. And she's actually starting to think that everyone at the Black Bulls is going to make fun of her just because she can't control her magic like everyone else. And everyone is actually praising her for having so much magic, and they're actually glad to have her on the squad. Vanessa offers to teach her how to control her magic better in any way she can. Luck wants to fight her as soon as she gets better control over her magic. Asta is still nice and friendly towards Noelle, and she still develops a little bit of feelings towards him, but she doesn't want to show it off. And then things happen a little bit differently after that. Magna and Captain Yami still do their daily poker game where they bet with the chief of Saucy Village, and they still lose badly, lose all their clothes, and they have to do him a favor. And they actually have to get rid of all the boars that have been showing up all over Saucy Village, and Asta, Magna, and Noelle are the ones who has to do it. So Asta still has to ride on Magna's magic broom called Crazy Cyclone. I think that's what Magna calls it. And Noelle still has to grab onto Asta, and Asta, he's just like, okay, yeah, she just gets a little nervous and she starts blushing, but then she knocks Asta off the broom while they're in midair, and Asta almost falls into the water. And then, yeah, so Magna's completely exhausted. He needs time to recharge his magic as soon as they get to Saucy Village. And while mainly while Asta is taking care of all the boar that have been going out of control in Saucy Village, destroying everything, Asta uses his anti-magic sword to get rid of them. And he does it relatively fast, but there's still a whole bunch of them still there. And while this is happening, 3 mages appear out of a portal, and it's the ice mages who were sent there to obviously get something out of Saucy Village. And they were told to kill everyone there while they're doing that. And there's their leader, the Ice Mage. There's only 3 of them. One of them is the leader, and the other 2 are just his tag-alongs. And then a boar runs towards their leader, and he freezes it and kills it. And then all 3 of them head over to Saucy Village to begin their task. And then Asta's carrying all of those dead boar corpses, and Noel's disgusted and saying, seriously, where even are you? Normal people shouldn't be able to pick that many boar up without having to use magic. And Asta's like, because I've been doing physical training all my life. And Magna and Asta and Noelle, they see Saucy Village covered in this mist. A very big mist. And then they notice that there's no sound and everything is quiet, too quiet. And Magna is very worried about everyone in Saucy Village. And he tells Asta to help get rid of this barrier. And Asta does so. And then everyone heads over to the center of Saucy Village. And then they see all the civilians of the village just crying and scared. And some of them were children, some of them were elderly, some of them were adults, and they're just terrified because their lives were in danger. And Magna sees this, and then he sees the dead corpse of the chief of Saucy Village. And Magna gets angry, and he tries to charge towards the 3 mages who are responsible for this. And Asta follows suit, and Noel's like, wait, you guys, we're supposed to have a plan. And, forget it. And they all charge, and Noel stays behind with the civilians, and Asta and Magna are trying to use their magic. Well, Magna's using his flame magic, while Asta, he tries to use that dark form again, but he doesn't know how to get under control, so he's just using his anti-magic sword, and cutting and slashing at the ice spears and glaciers that are targeting the villagers. And this still allows Noelle to have character development, and she unlocks her new spell, Water Creation Magic Sea Dragon's Lair, because of a little girl who's crying and scared, and she wants them to save all of them and not let any of them die. And Noelle was moved by this and unlocked a new spell because she was in danger and she had no choice. She wanted to save everybody because she deep down she wanted to. She was just scared. And then she creates her Water Creation Magic Sea Dragon's Lair around all of the villagers at the center of the village. And then, while Asta and Magna are fighting the two ice mages that are throwing countless ice magic projectiles at them, their leader is saying, "Ugh, this is just annoying. Why can't we just kill these damn animals and get on with our business?" And he walks up to Noel's water magic spell protecting the villagers and freezes the outer layer, trying to kill everyone in there. And Asta sees this and he's like thinking to himself, no, I can't let this happen. And he starts yelling and shouting, roaring. He was furious. He wasn't going to let anyone get hurt. And then he grows a horn, and his body started to turn black. I mean, like, really, really dark. His entire body and his skin turned a little bit of a dark gray. Not like Dark Jack from Jak and Daxter, but more like dark as in his eyes are turning red, and his skin was turning darker like a shadow, along with his hair. And he just straight up charges at the Ice Mage, and he just pulls out his hand, and his nails start to turn to claws. And his hand just impales the guy right through his chest, right then and there. And the Ice Mage looks like he's dead, but it turned out to be an ice magic mirage. And it was just a duplicate. The Ice Mage was observing this, and he was using mist to camouflage himself. And he was thinking, I was right. You commoners are nothing more than filthy animals with no magic power. And Asta glares at him and charges again, but the Ice Mage freezes the very ground he's standing on, and his feet are stuck. But Asta, he's breaking through it, and then the Ice Mage creates pillars of ice that are blocking him from getting any closer, but Asta just rams and claws and attacks, right, breaking all through the ice glaciers that are preventing him to getting closer. And he's still just roaring, saying, "You won't hurt anyone ever again!" And I think that would be how Asta sounds like when he's in this form. If you guys like the way he sounds in this What If, let me know down in the comments. And he's just angry. His eyes are blood red, and his eyes are glowing. His claws begin to turn more like they're glowing purple energy, and black lightning starts emanating from his entire body. And then he throws it into a huge sort of like spike projectiles that literally aimed straight towards the Ice Mage's arms and legs and his torso. And they actually impale him. It's sort of like Mortal Kombat's one of Mortal Kombat's fatalities, where Sub-Zero makes ice spikes on the ground, and then it literally just, it's kind of like that. And this is a little bit gory, and everyone's seeing how Asta's acting, literally relentlessly trying to kill this guy, and Magna's still fighting the other two mages, and he's running out of magic power. And he's almost exhausted, and Asta stops what he's doing from landing the finishing blow, and he's just saying, "You're probably better off bleeding to death. I better take out your other two friends." And this is really out of character for Asta, and everyone's scared and terrified seeing how Asta's acting towards the bad guys, and some of them are starting to think, wait, is this guy a monster or a demon? And Asta just roars and charges on all fours, running like an animal, more like a tiger or a wolf, about to charge and pounce onto his prey. And he's just roaring, and the Ice Mages see this, and we're about to land the finishing blow on Magna, and then Asta says, "Sorry, not happening! You're next!" And he jumps and actually grabs onto the two Ice Mages and rips one of each and every one of them's arms off. One of their arms got ripped off by Asta's bare hands with his claws, was covered in black lightning. And the other got I'm going to say his leg got torn off by Asta, because that way it balances out. And they're both screaming in pain, and then Magna tries to snap Asta out of it, and Asta's about to shove his hand right through their heads, killing them, and then everyone tries to snap him out of it, but he's a little far gone. He's like growling, and then he sees the little girl who was holding on to Noelle, and she said, "Please stop, Mr. Magic Knight, you're scaring me." And she's crying. He's looking at his hands covered in blood, barely turned into claws, and he's like, What have I turned into?" And he screams and roars, and then he starts turning back to his old self. And then he's just exhausted, and he falls onto the ground, and everyone, including Magna, is exhausted. They tie up the mages with some rope, and then as soon as Asta gets some magic power back, they're actually going to use binding magic, but they still confiscated their grimoires, so that way they can't use any spells to get out of the rope. And Asta is sitting over close to where the center of the city is, and he's sitting down like in front of the footsteps of a house, and he's like, "What was wrong with me? How could I lost control like that? I was acting like a totally different person." And Magna sat down next to him. He said, "Don't worry, can't exactly blame you, but dude, don't scare us like that." And he's like, "Yeah, sorry, Magna." And Magna asked him, "What was up with that form you turned into? It's like your personality was darker, like you were acting like some sort of monster." And Asta then looks down at his hands, and he tries to get the blood off his hands, and he's still remembering how he was acting from Magna and Noelle and the villagers explaining it, because they saw it, how he was acting and almost killing those three mages. And Asta, he starts to doubt himself, but Magna, he says, "Hey, come on, this isn't like you. Snap out of it, dude." And he then calls him a rookie, and Asta then says, "Yeah, you're right. This isn't like me at all. I can't just act all down the dumps like that. That's not what the future Wizard King of the Clover Kingdom's supposed to act like." And then Magna, Noelle, and the villagers stand in front of the three mages, who are still breathing, but they lost a lot of blood, and they're injured badly. So Magna then says, alright, first we're gonna have to bring you guys to the capital and see who you guys are working for and what you are trying to accomplish here by killing everyone in Squeaky Village. And the Ice Mage, their leader, was saying, whatever you are, you're gonna be a huge problem. But you're still gonna all die here. No, none of you can stop what's coming. The Clover Kingdom and everyone here in it is doomed. And none of you can stop it. There's nothing you can do. You're all too weak. And Asta punches the Ice Mage right in the face, and he's, shut up! As soon as we get you to the capital, we're gonna get every ounce of information out of you. And Magna's like, dude, come on! And take it easy. I know you were angry, but sheesh, tone it down a notch. And Asta's like, oh, sorry. And then the Ice Mage starts to laugh, and then a magic item starts to turn him and his two teammates into ice, and then they start to shatter bit by bit from the feet down, and then they're completely gone. Just like that. There's nothing left behind, not even their grimoire. And all that's left is the Ice Mage's pocket watch. And Asta's like, what the? This, no way! He just killed himself and his comrades? Just like that? And they didn't even have a choice in the matter. What the? He'd rather die than get captured and tell us anything he knows? Dang it! And he punches a house, totally obliterating it, and his fist actually got stuck in the wall, and he's like, wait, what the? Oh, come on! Wait, my arm's literally stuck in this part of this house. Can someone kind of get me out of here? My arm's kind of stuck here. And then everyone in the village, including Noel, is starting to chuckle, and then Magna starts laughing, and everyone else, and they're not making fun of them. They're just trying to figure out, seriously, this kid actually nearly killed all three of those mages in the most brutal way possible, and he's acting this dense? And then they're just laughing, and they're not making fun of him, and I was just like, hey, what's so funny? This is not a laughing matter. I'm actually stuck in here, and my body's still a little sore. And then Nero flies up to Asta and holding a magic stone in his beak. And Asta's like, what the? Where have you been? And Nero still pecks him on his forehead multiple times, and it's hurting Asta, and he's like, oh, for crying out loud! I can't catch a break today, can I? And guys, that's where I'm going to leave it off this time. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And please vote on the poll of should Asta, in what if Asta had Bond's powers, should he have his own 4-leaf clover grimoire that has Undying Thief magic with all of Bond's abilities, but it still allows him to regenerate with or without it? Or should he just have Bond's abilities to regenerate and still get his 5-leaf clover grimoire and anti-magic sword? So please, all of you, vote on those polls on that video, and so that way you get a chance to decide how that what if plays out and how it begins. Well, gotta get started on my next video. Thanks for watching Infinity Overdrive! Infinite realities, infinite possibilities! See you all in my next video! Catch you later!